Class, welcome to lesson 3.4, subtracting vectors. Last day we learned how to add vectors where you did tip to tail. Today we're going to learn a different strategy when subtracting the vectors, okay? Recall that when you subtract integers, you add the opposite. That's going to be our key for today. So remember that if you are taking 5 and subtracting -3, you're going to add the opposite. And a positive times a positive, negative times a negative will give you the positive. That's how that rule stands. Okay, so we're going to keep that add the opposite in focus for today. So we're going to add the opposite. All right. Okay, here we go. So the same occurs when we subtract vectors or when subtracting vectors. What we're going to do is we're going to draw the opposite vector, which is the second one, then add it by replacing it to the tip to tail. Okay, so be careful of the order. Okay, we always have to start with the first one. Let's take a look at an example, folks. I'm going to be moving some vectors around, so please watch carefully how this is done. All right. So given A and B, which is right here. Here's two vectors, A and vector B. Okay, determine A, subtract B. So currently looking at the way they are, that's in the addition portion like what we had yesterday, or last class, okay? Because it was tip to tail. But what we need to do is step 1, we need to draw the opposite of our second vector. So instead of having B, which is this one right here, guys, I'm going to draw the opposite of it. So notice here, folks, when I bring it together, it's got the same magnitude, just opposite direction. So the difference between B and -B is just the same dimensions in terms of magnitude, but different direction. Okay? And then step 2 is to add the vectors. So to add the negative, to subtract them, you actually add the opposite. So notice what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to take the -1, put it tip to tail. I'm going to, oopsie, let's leave that there because it seems to be attached. But what I'm focusing on, folks, is now the order. Where did I start? I started here at A. And where do I need to end up? At the tip of -B. So when we do A subtract B, ladies and gentlemen, it is this resultant we're looking at here, or the change. And I apologize, I'm trying to get that a little closer on. There. So step 1, folks, is to draw the opposite of the second vector. Step 2 is to then actually form the resultant by, as soon as you change the direction, you're really adding the opposite. Okay, so in this case, I'm really going A plus -B. Okay, just remember your signs are a positive times a negative will lend you a negative. Let's compare that to adding from last day. Okay, when we had A and B, we wanted to add them. We just would tip to tail and then we did our resultant from the start to the finish. Again, order was important, but it wasn't as confusing. Okay, notice the difference when you add the vectors and when you subtract the vectors. Okay, they look to be similar in magnitude, but are definitely different in terms of direction. Okay, so there's a little example of that. Okay, and again, I want to mention to something, if you were asked to take, and I'm just going to choose a separate example here. Okay, if you're given AC, a vector AC, and you were told to subtract AB, just remember that we've got this new philosophy that we're going to add the opposite. So the opposite of AB is BA, right? And instead of subtracting it, you're going to add the opposite. Okay? Very good with that. So when you're asked to do AC subtract AB, that equals AC plus BA, which will eventually, if you take a look, it's C to B. All right? All right. Good job there. All right. I just wanted to back that up for a second and show you in a triangle how that would look. Okay, depending that assuming I had these right, so we go AC, okay, and we wanted to subtract. Let's just, you know what, folks, I didn't give you initial triangle example. Just remember the nomenclature here. So AC subtract AB. What I'm trying to get you to figure out is that change the direction. So instead of AB, it's going to be BA, and change the negative to adding. All right, let's take a look at our homework, and we're going to do one homework question together to get us started, which will tie this in. Okay, so looking here, ladies and gentlemen, when we take a look at page 54 to 55, our homework questions are 1, 4, and 5. But let's just take a quick look at number 5 because it could be confusing for some of them. Okay, number 5 says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H is a regular octagon. Name a single vector equivalent to each expression. Okay, so for question A, it asks you, hey, what is AC subtract AB? All right, so first of all, we need to take AC, okay, and subtract AB. What we could do is realize that AC subtract AB is AC plus BA. Everybody good with that? Okay, so BA, okay. Okay, so what we need to figure out is the difference between, so AC subtract AB. All right, let's take a look. How does that work? Well, let's just take a look mathematically what we could do. Okay. Say that was 11, we had to subtract 6, which equals 5. You could rearrange that a statement so that it looks better. Okay, so what we could take a look at is AC plus BA. To complete this, we need to realize that it's going to be BC. All right, let me just pause for a second here. Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to double check with someone knocking at my door, but we're okay. So just to finish off example A, again, we had AB. We changed the subtraction to the plus and changed the direction. So that's going to be BC. So I'll just show you that here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at one more. Let's do B. So B in our textbook says HF subtract GH. Okay. So first of all, let's take a look, folks, at HF. Okay. And then we're going to subtract. So remember, we can change the second one to add it, which is H and G. Okay. So if I'm going to add my fault. Let's just make sure I've got things written down here. I apologize. I've got the wrong question part written down. Let's back that up. I was looking. It's GF, not GH, so my fault. So let me fix that. So it's GF. Sorry, guys. That's the problem with videos. I can't erase, and I'm human and still makes mistakes. So let's change that to FG. Now we're looking better. So FG, okay, means now that I'm adding, how do I fix this? Well, again, the result is going to be from the tail to the tip. So what does this equal? This equals vector HG. Okay, give some thought to that, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we're going to add the opposite. Okay, and that's on the second vector. Okay, have fun with that, ladies and gentlemen. And your homework again is page 54 and 55, numbers 1, 4, and 5. If you want to just finish 5 since we started already, by all means go ahead and have a great day. And of course, come see me if you need help. Bye-bye.